I'm Patience Wallace, and I'm a rising junior at Randolph College. The First Amendment created the Establishment Clause. The interpretation has formed what we know now as church and state. Thomas Jefferson also played a part in coining this term. The definition of what the Establishment Clause actually means has been debated and picked apart in the court system. In 1947, the Supreme Court decided to give specifics about what qualifies as church or state. However, 1947 was a long time ago. There have been advancements in court cases that have furthered the meaning of the separation of church and state, but that clause as a whole hasn't been rediscussed or reevaluated. I think it's important to mention the weight Christianity has in this country. There are some Americans that believe America should be a Christian-led country. There are some Americans that already believe it is. However, this ideology raises big issues when it comes to freedom from religion or just the choice to practice whatever religion you'd like. I'm a Christian myself, but I can't stand beside some changes that have been influenced by Christian values. For example, banning abortions, which takes the choice out of so many hands. It puts so many at risk. It's a basic healthcare need that was changed by a belief that not everyone holds. One can argue that these things aren't truly affected by religion, but the tie between some of these topics is hard to ignore. I think that this can threaten the well-being of Americans now and Americans in the future. I can understand free speech and sharing a viewpoint, but it's not okay when it goes from free speech to an actual law that everyone must follow in spite of their beliefs. It's not okay when it diminishes the well-being of American citizens. The government should make choices that supports the country as a whole, rather than bending to religious or individual morality viewpoints. I think the best way to have a solid understanding of separation of church and state is to go back to the drawing board. It's now 2023, and the world has changed from leaps to bounds since 1947. I think that the courts should reevaluate what stands for church and what stands for state and put things in place to keep them separate. I think it's also very important for voters to decide on what the separation of church and state means before addressing individual issues. There is nothing wrong with practicing religion. There is nothing wrong with having your own views and morals. I think it's okay to be yourself. However, everyone should have an equal voice, equal support, and equal protection. And it seems like the blurring of the lines between church and state may threaten some of the freedoms that Americans have. I want a future where my own kids and grandkids will be able to make the best decision for themselves without the fear of one of their basic rights being taken away. I think America can change for the better by having a more defined line between church and state. It will make the country a safer and more positive place to be. We need to make the change now. We need to look at where we were and where we are now and make informed choices to ensure we go forwards instead of backwards. And that's the end. Bye.